back to Redneck Snack, where life is too short to be serious. Alright, this is Crumbl review number 18. No, I'm not fatigued at all, but I have to admit this is probably one of the least exciting weeks I've, been a part of. Not to throw any shade, that's just how I feel. Why is it the least exciting? Well, it's great to have 2 new flavors, can't complain. There's never wrong with that. Even though I wish, again, 1 new flavor a week is fine. But I don't know. I've had cornbread, I love it. One of my favorites, so I'm definitely gonna enjoy that. The one I got looks weird. Like, it looks a little too pale. Doesn't look as good as the one I had originally. So we'll see. But it looks pretty big, just flattened out a bit. So I'm intrigued. Churro has been a pretty popular one over the past few years, or however long it's been around. So I'm intrigued by that. But you've got 2, pretty popular ones that are pretty, stable. And you got 2 new ones that don't really seem like they're anything like crazy exciting. Like peanut butter M&Ms with peanut butter inside the cookie too. I think that's liable to be a peanut butter overload. And honestly, just bring back peanut butter chocolate chip at this point. I mean, that's pretty much what you get here, except for I guess there's a layer of peanut butter in there and you get the harder candy shell. And then you get this no-bake chocolate crunch cookie, which they've done a bake version, and people are like, why didn't you just bring that back? We want cookies. We don't want your imitation of this processed good. No. Like, I know you're trying to kind of be innovative, and I get it. But I have to agree, I'm not excited about that cookie one bit. When I, saw it at first, I was like, whoa, maybe we're getting that chocolate crunch cookie, the baked one, that they had years ago, that most people haven't gotten to try. I thought, maybe we're going to get that. But no, we got this no-bake one. They're trying to copy the exact product, and it's like, no, Crumbl, do what works. Imitate the product as a cookie. You're not out here making legit Oreos, are you? No, you're not. You're not making these wafer cookies and putting cream in them. No, you're making a hot cookie and dumping Oreo pieces on them, and it's delicious. Even though I do wish it kind of tasted more like an Oreo, I do like the fact that it's a cookie. That's the same thing with this chocolate crunch. I think you should just brought back the hot cookie, and I think they will. I think they'll realize that no-bake's really just not the best choice. And like, I've not heard great things about this. We're gonna give it a chance, and I think it'll be the first one I review. We'll just get it out of the way. But yeah, I think this review just is gonna consist of more rambling than anything. Just because I'm not as excited. Next week's gonna be exciting. I don't want to spoil it. Reddit's got all the spoilers for you. Just look up Crumbl cookie in the search bar and on Reddit if you want those spoilers. But I'm excited. I get to be a part of it, and I think that's review number 19. Wish it was 20. I feel like it would be more satisfactory if their birthday review was review number 20 for me. We're having issues with the box again. Again, I've been told there's paper shortages, and I've been dealing with box issues with both Crumbl and Krispy Kreme. At least I feel like I have. I could be tricking myself and just, making myself believe that for self-esteem reasons. But, I think the box is kind of flimsy, which is okay. That's just nitpicking. I'm just trying to hold up these cookies, and I don't want them to fall out. They have fallen out on me once. That's an awkward thumbnail. I should have backed up a little bit more. But it is what it is. If it looks like my head's popping out of a box of cookies, cool. I don't care. We got to get to this. So, yeah. I just had something fall. I believe it was the knife. And it was. So, we're going to have to do some digging. What a day. Today's not even been a bad day. I don't know. I'm not excited. Are you excited? But no, honestly, again, I'm going to say this. The cornbread is a really good option, and I'm sure the churro is too. So you can't go wrong buying these cookies this week. I just don't think the two new ones inspire a lot. So, yeah, so this comes in, and it's starting to melt a bit, so I definitely got to keep this thing refrigerated. It comes in a little pouch here, kind of like what you get some fries in. And it's covered in chocolate. It's like Rice Krispie pieces, caramel and chocolate all together, and it's no bake. It's cold. So we're gonna see what we can do here, like what we're getting ourselves into. I think I just cut a really big piece, but this is definitely not your normal cookie. I mean, it's not a cookie at all if you ask me, but again, I'm just opinionated today. Don't hate me. All right. Also, hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share this video, and check out my Instagram, Redneck Snack. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had Star Crunch, but I think this is what would come to mind. I would definitely prefer this in cookie form. I think this type of texture on top of a cookie would be to die for. This is all right. It's not bad. It is a little off-putting that's not a cookie, but I saw someone give this a 2 out of 10. Not a 2 out of 10 for me. But hear me out. It is too much like eating a Rice Krispie treat. It's too much like that. It's not enough like a cookie. So, you know, it's got its good and its bad. I think the flavor's good enough for me to where I enjoy this. I wouldn't highly recommend it, but I would say, you know, if you want to see what it's all about, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, it's a fine treat. It's a fine snack. Is it a great cookie? No. It's definitely on the lower ends of the cookies I've had here. And you can't really consider it a cookie. But it's okay. Does that mean you should get it? All up to you. It gets a 6 for me. Just because the flavor's good, it's just like, I feel like I'm eating something that's processed that is stuck in the fridge, when I really shouldn't be doing that. I should be eating cookies. So just take my advice, I guess. If you don't want to take it, that's cool too. All right, so here is the peanut butter M&M. Looks nice and pretty. Not too different looking on the outside from the regular M&M, but we're going to cut into it, figure out just what we got here. Ooh, nice and gooey on the inside. Here's a look at the inside. You get some peanut butter. I'm ready to try this out. Okay. So what I forgot from last time that I had their M&M cookie was the issue of how you don't get any crunch from the M&Ms, which I don't even know if you're really supposed to get crunch from M&Ms in a cookie or not. I can't remember, but you don't really get any crunch. It's these M&Ms are very soft, but I understand that because chocolate melts. But they are very soft, so you don't get anything different than if you just put chocolate chips in there. You get colorful colors, you know. And you definitely can taste the peanut butter. You can taste the difference in the peanut butter M&Ms. Peanut butter, I think it does have a different flavor. A little more processed, I would say. Got more preservatives in it. So it's definitely interesting. I definitely prefer, I've never had their chocolate chip peanut butter, but I feel like it would be more enjoyable. I think it would probably have more chocolate flavor. Essentially, this is just the cookie with two different flavors of peanut butter combating with each other, and you get a little hint of chocolate. Is it amazing? No. Do I like it better than the no-bake chocolate crunch? I think so. Just slightly better. It's not something I love. So, you know, they didn't really hit home with these two new cookies, which it didn't really surprise me. I wasn't overly excited, but we're getting ready for a really fun week. So, again, don't be too sad that this was not a highlight week. We're getting it. So just wait. Did I kind of... Oh, did I? No, I didn't spoil it, did I? Or if I did, I don't... Oh, I did spoil it. I'm sorry. Well, yeah, everyone's been talking about it. Even on TikTok, I think the guy who founded it, Sawyer is his name. They've been talking about it. Well, I'm not spoiling the flavors. You got me there. I'm not spoiling the flavors, but it is their birthday coming up, so that's next week. I have a hard time keeping my lips sealed. It's been a long work day. Sorry, Crumbl. I don't know. I'm just looking forward to next week. Okay, so yeah, you know, I don't want to give it a high rating. I want to give it a 6.5. It's all right, but it just doesn't, you know, make me jump up and down. Now, I love this one. I love this one. It looks weird today. I don't know what's going on here, but looks can be deceiving. And it is pretty, you know, wide. It's a pretty wide cookie, so, you know, who cares? I should enjoy it. If I don't, I don't. But I expect that it'll be just fine. It'll do, donkey. It'll do. I'm cutting it all weird, too, you know. So, yeah, it just looks a little light as compared to usual. But that don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing else. So let's go ahead and try it. That first bite was like a little dry, not what I remember it to be. And then the second bite, that dollop of like honey butter reminded me of how great this cookie is. I do like the aesthetic of it. I think what would be better if they just spread that dollop, if they just spread it across the cookie, which would be a very rich, enjoyable flavor. But I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to kind of let the cornbread speak for itself. I'm not so sure what I actually rated this last time. I wouldn't say it's a 10. I would dare say maybe an 8.5, just because it is very unique. It's very enjoyable, but it's a little dry, and I just kind of wish that sweetness was kind of spread out a lot more. Even with the sweetness, it's a different dynamic. Not as sweet as some of these other cookies, and it's a very, you know, pleasing flavor profile. Like, it's honey sweetness. It's not some sugar rush that's just making your mind go crazy. So all those things kind of bounce together. I give it an 8.5. All right, so Churro. This one's been pretty popular over its run, over its tenure. It smells good. It smells a lot of cinnamon. I think it's kind of like a snickerdoodle cookie with this cinnamon buttercream icing. I don't think it's cream cheese. At least I hope not. But I'm very, very intrigued by this one. It looks very much like a churro. So yeah, this is my first time having the churro. Even though it's not new, it is new to me. So I only get to take one cookie off of my list of 90 something cookies I haven't tried. So I am a little bothered by that, but other than that, I don't know, this week's not terrible. I mean, but the new ones, the new cookies just didn't excite me. And maybe that's why there's a lot of cookies we haven't gotten. Is maybe, you know, even though we don't know, because, you know, a lot of us weren't around, you know, back in 18, 19, whatever. You know, maybe it just wasn't, those flavors weren't good that we haven't had come back. So I can't confirm anything, but I have a feeling that that crunch is actually, you know, pretty good. I just don't think it probably sold well. So they're trying to bring it back as this no-bake item when they should have just brought it back as a cookie. So it'll be interesting to see if they ever bring it back into a cookie version. I have a good feeling the no-bake version's never going to come back. Of course, that's just my biased guess, but this, I don't see it coming back. So I'm long-winded here. Let's just go back to focusing on this churro cookie that's popular. Focus on what works. Yes. Take the Dolce de Leche cookie and do right with it. That's the vibe I'm getting here. It's buttercream icing. I don't think it's cream cheese. I think it's buttercream icing. That's where they come short with a lot of cookies, is they do cream cheese icing, like with Dolce de Leche, Neapolitan, the list goes on. They do cream cheese. This is buttercream icing. Yeah, it's rich, sure, but it is not as distracting as the flavor of cream cheese that just doesn't belong on a cookie. This lets the cinnamon and the brown sugar, because I guess this cookie does have brown sugar, most do. The cinnamon and the brown sugar and just everything that's in this cookie, it lets it speak a lot louder. So I really do like this. Do I like it as much as the cornbread? I'm kind of unsure here, but I do really like it. I understand why it's popular. I think maybe I might just slightly enjoy just the snickerdoodle on its own a little bit better, but that's just me. And we'll get that chance to try snickerdoodle by the end of the year, I'm sure. It's gotta happen. That's my prediction. So yeah, let me get this last bite here. It's like taking a churro and just dipping it into some buttercream sauce. That's good. That might even be better than the cornbread, but to be fair, I really like that cornbread, so I'm just gonna have to put it on its level. I'm gonna give it an 8.5, just because there's just been a couple cookies that I do find, you know, even higher, and maybe a 9 for that. I don't know, but there are a couple cookies that just blow me away. Like, you take two different types of chocolate and put them together on a cookie, it blows my mind. It just makes me go, wow. You put apple and caramel and streusel on a cookie, drives me wild. You take a Kit Kat and chop it up, take some chocolate frosting, dump it on a cookie, drives me wild. I'm trying to think what else has made me really fall in love. There's been some others, but you get all these different flavor profiles, and you get these different textures, and that's what I really like. It's just not an overload of flavors, not something that's, you know, overweighed by cream cheese, but something that's, you know, unique and bounces off the wall, and is able to take 2 or 3 different ingredients and highlight them, having them all bounce around. That's what I love. That's what makes these cookies special when they're really good. And so, while I will admit that no bake did, you know, take chocolate and caramel and Rice pieces and really made them kind of stand out. I think if you take that, put it on top of a chocolate cookie, like the one that they have, that's not overbearing in flavor, I think that would rock. You know, just like with the cornbread, you got that starchy, you know, kind of savory corn flavor with the honey and some buttercream, I guess. So good. And, you know, I just think, you know, it's kind of lacking, like the problem with the M&M, peanut butter M&M, is it just kind of lets peanut butter just say a lot. And it's okay. You know? But, you know, it's good to see two classics come back. If you go to Crumbl, go for the cornbread and the churro. You know? That's two really good flavors to go and try. And cornbread is the third cookie that I've had as a repeat over 18 times that I've been here. The other two, one was, why am I drawing a blank here? One was confetti cake, I know that. And then the other, doesn't matter. Does not matter. Let's just go call it quits. But actually, can I remember it? I want to remember it because it was a cookie I like, but it was a repeat. You know, I'm drawing a blank. Whew. But that's fine. Obviously, I think next week's gonna be better. Last week was definitely better. The week before I really loved was breakfast week. That was really good. Like the donut one and the waffle one. The banana bread one slapped. That was another one. You know, you take just like this, you know, banana flavor, and you add some other elements. And, you know, banana bread's just really good, but making that into a cookie, it was exciting. It was a thrilling experience. So definitely something I would tell you to not miss out. So yeah, I mean, if you're trying to budget, next week's definitely looking more promising. But if you're not budgeting and you go every week and you're not in it for reviews, you're just in it to enjoy the cookies, then cornbread and churro. That's it. That's it. Other two, I mean, come on. If you want to try one of the new cookies, that's fine. But for me, it's those two mainstays. That's the reason they're back, is because they're so good and they're so popular and they're hard to beat. And I think, you know, Crumbl, you know, they know what they're doing. They know how they're kind of allocating their resources. And they're like, okay, you know, we'll put these two new ones that we've come up with. We're unsure of how they'll sell. We'll release them with these really interesting ones and see how that goes. So I predict they won't sell well, but again, who knows? They always, you know, sell their 4 flavors in a week pretty nicely, but they do keep up with the numbers, and I think those two will be pretty low in sales compared to usual. But yeah, I've said everything I need to say, and you've heard everything you need to hear. If you want to listen to someone else, that's fine. I am long-winded. I apologize, but I just try and get you the best explanation, the most interesting review you can get. So, Crumbl now, or maybe next week. It's all up to you. But I'll be here next week, so just come on back and you'll get more. I will see y'all around. Yeah!